Goebbels' wife, Joanna Maria Magdalena. Roman Catholic monster, Goebbels' wife. The First Lady of Nazi Germany. She has a tie with Emmy Goring, Munich's Emmy Goring. Maria Magdalena Goebbels. Maria Magdalena Goebbels. You'll never guess what religion she was. You'll never guess what religion she was. As a matter of fact, as the demonic Soviet, the Red Hordes, when the Freemasonic scum on the West pulled back and granted Germany's punishment to the Soviet communist demons, along with half of Europe, Maria Magdalena murdered her 6 children in Hitler's bunker before Hitler committed suicide with Munich's Eva Braun. There's so much evidence that that never happened, that Hitler, of course, the bodies were burned and beyond recognition, right? The Roman Catholic comic book hero Hellboy tells you that in the movie. Oh, Hitler died in 1945. Did he? Says, what's his name? John Hurt. John Hurt, the actor that portrays his character with rosary beads around his wrist. And eventually that's what the demon hero Hellboy does too. Rosary beads around his wrist. It's the Jews, Johnny. Even in Hollywood. Who's really running the show? Hollywood. So look, the bottom line is, there is more than enough controversy over when and where Hitler died. That anyone that states that it's a fact that Hitler committed suicide is a shill. Or an idiot, or both. Goebbels' wife, Maria Magdalena. Everyone's horrified that she murdered her 6 children. But nobody mentions what would have happened to her had she waited for the demonic Soviets to overtake Hitler's bunker. Why were they doing that? Because the Freemasonic scum in the West let them. Just like they mass murdered Polish patriots in Warsaw in 1944. Roosevelt told the Polish resistance, oh, rise up, rise up. Stalin's at your doorstep. He'll rescue you. Stalin will rescue you. If you fell for that, with all the bad blood and history between Poland, Russia, and Germany, you fell for that? Stalin didn't. He stood there and waited and watched as the outmatched Polish resistance was massacred by the Germans. Encouraged by Roosevelt in 1944. The first of many sucker plays. Followed by Hungary in 1956. Revolt against the demonic Soviets. Hungary handed over to the communists at Yalta. All 3 were Freemasons, and one of them a collared Jesuit. As they carved up the world, as they carved like demons, like secret-keeping demons, as they carved up the world. All 3 were Freemasons, and I have multiple sources that Stalin was a collared Jesuit. Everyone is horrified that Maria Magdalena Goebbels murdered her 6 children with cyanide as they slept. But no one mentions what would have happened had she just waited for the Soviets to rape and torture them all incessantly. Like the demonic red hordes that they were, gifted and invited. How many Russians ran from communism, joined Germany, and the scumbag demonic Operation Keelhaul Look up Operation Keelhaul. Russians who escaped the demonic tyranny of Stalin's communism to fight for Germany, surrendered to the West, and immediately turned around and gifted to the Soviet demons to be tortured and executed and gulagged and disappeared. That's the West for you. That's the West for you. Dwight Eisenhower and his Rhine-Meadow death camp, thousands of Germans, not Nazis, Germans, denied food, water, and medicine. What a demonic way to be killed. What a demonic way to be killed. And how is it that Eisenhower would do so? How is it that Eisenhower would order such a thing? Who is it that has compassion after war? Listen to me now. Who is it that has compassion after war? The poor schlep that was in the midst of it. The poor schlep that was in the midst of it. As I've told you many times, Eisenhower, unprecedented, never held a single leadership billet in his entire. How it is that he made it to 50-star general, having never ever commanded a fire team, a squad, a platoon, a company, never commanded a battalion, never commanded a brigade, never commanded an army, and then he was the supreme Allied commander with no experience. Why would they do that? Who picked him? Who has compassion for the vanquished? The poor bastards who have been there. Not Eisenhower. Not Eisenhower. Piece of cake for him to order the mass murder of captured Germans. Piece of cake for Bomber Harris to mass murder German civilians. Curtis LeMay. Too easy for Curtis LeMay and Bomber Harris to order mass murder firebombing Dresden of German civilians. Who was the first one? What country was first to knowingly target? Strategic bombing was and is a war crime. Strategic bombing, carpet bombing was and is a war crime. What country was the first to knowingly, willingly target civilians for mass murder by air, from the air? Was it? I was going to throw Japan in there. Japan was led by demons. Japan had no compassion whatsoever for the countries. I mean, Japan dumped, not knowing how biological warfare works. Japan dumped diseased animals into China in an effort to murder as many Chinese as possible. Was it Japan? Was it Soviet Russia? Was it Nazi Germany? What country was the first to knowingly target civilians with strategic bombing? England. England was. Did you know that? How many innocent lives did Freemason Winston Churchill have on from the Lusitania to Gallipoli all the way down? From the Lusitania through Gallipoli, I'm pretty sure he was responsible for Gallipoli as well. Right? The mass murder of Australians, trench warfare, or that predate him, it doesn't matter. He was a mass murdering, secret-keeping scum. Purposely setting up the Lusitania, loading it up with weapons and munitions, Germans had warned them. Now, the Germans misplayed it. If the Lusitania was missed opportunity by Germany, here's how because who would think? Who would think? Who would think that Lusitania was set up by the Freemasonic British government, by Winston Churchill, Lord of the Admiralty? They all the Jesuits, Freemasonic scum, love to come up through the Navy. Roosevelt did the same thing. Oh, they love to come in. Oh, how much does the whore of Babylon own the Navy SEALs? Her Crusaders. All the biggest hype and bullshit gifted to the compromised Crusaders. I'm the U-boat captain. I know what the Lusitania is. It's a passenger liner loaded with munitions. If it's escorted, let's do this. What are the odds? One escort. More than one escort, then you pick your targets. One escort, you take out the escort, then you surface. You force the Lusitania to surrender. You allow plenty of time for the civilians to get in lifeboats. Move away from the vessel. Then you sink the vessel. Now, puts you a lot of risk? It does. As opposed to mass murder, that's how you could have done it. That's how a smart U-boat captain could have denied Churchill his mass murder sacrifice. It's not how it went down.